Joseph here. It is Saturday night. I've just done my second training session with a trainee, with a guy coming out to learn cold approach here in Belgrade. We had a great session today. And Balthus has been a filming session. And in this video, we're just going to review our experiences of Belgrade. We're going to focus on basically what we've learned over this period of time. It's my second time into the city, so I was here back in September and October. I was here solo, so I was approaching here, setting up a bit of a social life here as well, going to nights out here as well. I get to know the city. It's a very beautiful city, but now we're back in the summertime, and it's a very different feel in the summer. The streets are full, the girls are in dresses, the nightlife is popping. So we've been out here. I persuaded, he didn't say much persuading, but I persuaded my wingman Balthus to come out to join me, basically telling him what a great city I thought it was, and I was interested to come back in the summer. And I remember when I messaged you just maybe about a week before we came out, and I said, congratulations on making a great decision.
Yes.
So
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, we've been operating around the streets here, around the mall, clubs a little bit, and there's obviously been us two, and Poole University here as well. So this is really just a chance for us just to talk and share some thoughts on the city, how you found it, and also how I found it as well. So over to you. What have you been thinking, and is there anything you're interested to ask me about my experiences this time, maybe compared to last time, and so on?
So we've known each other about almost 2 years, mostly online.
Mm-hmm.
We've met for the first time in March 2025. Mm-hmm. That's not too long ago. It's a couple of months, like 3-4 months ago, in Barcelona.
Yep.
And then we had a casual session where we went to the Sagrada Familia. We hung out for the first time an entire day on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. I remember that. It was a bit of a slow start, but it was very enjoyable. I really enjoyed hanging out with you there, mm-hmm. getting to know you in person for the first time. How do you compare your experience in Barcelona when it comes to approaching, of course, mm-hmm. Lining up dates, interacting with women, the overall vibe of the city, and Belgrade?
Yeah, so
what's the main differences?
Massive differences. So I've lived in Spain, I've lived in Madrid, and we obviously traveled to Barcelona, and it's a very different feel, very different like vibration in the city. Barca is just so high energy. The girls who were in, it's obviously Spanish girls and Latinas predominantly, plus tourists. It's a pretty good concoction. So the streets are just open to play, basically, especially around Las Ramblas. And I found it very amenable, Barcelona, to be honest. I had a lot more work on at the time, so I wasn't on the same amount of sessions as the other guys, but I was still out every day. And I was just enjoying. Really, at that point, I was mostly just enjoying being with you guys, doing sessions, meeting all these different girls. But there was already a girl that I was interested in, so I was going to see her. Yeah. I actually wasn't interested in even following up with the girls. I was just getting numbers just for essentially a training exercise, really, for Wingbro. Out here it's a completely different scene. It's obviously it's Balkans, a former Yugoslavia. It's a Slavic country. It's different culture, different people, different language, even different alphabet. And I find them very interesting. I feel like they're a nice combination of passion with reservation as well. I think it's really interesting to interact with them. And in terms of the actual approach, I would say the approach is harder here, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little bit harder to get them to stop. You get more polarizing reactions. You get some strange reactions, but I think they're also quite authentic as well. They won't stop just to be polite. You know, if they're not interested, they'll just completely blank, you're not interested at all. But still, I think we've done great things out here, to be honest. And it's been nice to come back with you guys this summer. I was doing sessions here alone, which I did actually enjoy. But to be doing it in a group of 3 guys like this, we were just all so competent. It's completely different. We're doing massive sessions and we're not even bothered. We're just relaxing. It doesn't feel like much of a stress.
For both of us, this is like an extra immersion on top of what we already were capable of.
Yep.
We were highly skilled before we arrived in Belgrade, but Belgrade has leveled both of us up. And the fact of doing this immersion the past 3 weeks together is super valuable because we can give each other targeted feedback. We can see things.
We can also
we're
learn
not
from each other.
capable of just experiencing and observing alone. So the value of spending time with Wingbro, I mean, for me, spending 3 weeks with you is just is insane.
Yep.
And I've seen you did an immersion today.
With a student.
So one session, and you were able to doing what between 1 p.m. and 6 or 7 p.m. So 5-6 hours of hanging out with Joseph. I met you guys on the street while I was with on a session with Ephraim, who was filming me, Paul University.
Yep.
I could see the guy was having a good time. I could see him improving. We saw him. He was doing all right. I saw him in 2 sessions. You can recognize this fairly easy, like the level of a guy. But and then of course, your first immersion in Belgrade last week.
Yep. Yeah. The first one.
That was very impressive.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah.
So I've seen you work with 2 students now.
Yeah. And that's only out here in the Balkans as well. Yeah.
Last week and today.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Interesting to see you giving feedback to guys. For me, it's become almost normalized. I mean, you give me feedback every day. It's just a very valuable experience. And maybe we can talk about your dates as well. You've had quite a few dates in the last 2 weeks. How is your dating experience, and maybe more specific, how do you feel when going on dates with these quality women who are not only, because I've been on a couple of dates as well by now, but I would say younger women in their 20s, super stylish, intelligent women that are just quality leads. I mean, what is your experience with dating here?
My experience has been actually just extremely positive. I find the women to be extremely beautiful, extremely beautiful. There's a lot of very rangy, kind of elegant-looking women with very athletic physiques. They tend to actually mostly be in shape. It's quite rare you see people who are anyone out of shape here, actually. Extremely well dressed, very classical style, which I really like. So in terms of the visuals, when you're going out to do some approaches, you're seeing who catches your eye. You're not going to be short in this city. You're really not short. And then, obviously, we're going out. My kind of interest this summer was to find, in the first week or so, for us to go out and enjoy ourselves, but to also find at least one person that I found like an actually interesting person to spend time with, aside from just the looks. And so I was actually able to do that within a few days, and still had dates with other girls and so on. But the experience has just been really positive, and I think that this is the reality guys have got to start to face and start to embrace, is that people complain about countries. People complain about this country, the dating culture in the Balkans. People complain about the UK.
Yeah,
we complain about everywhere. But the reality is, if you can go out and make it happen, you can make it happen within a week, realistically. If you're competent and you're actually presenting something that's worthwhile. So this is something guys have to start to look at, start look at themselves, start to maybe go and get a consultation with somebody else. It doesn't need to be like myself. Go and ask girls, go into a clothes shop and say, please critique my style or whatever. Get a fashion consultant. Go and train with somebody, because I see guys who've got weaknesses, and it's basic things, basic fashion. Just the basics. So is often terrible. Very poor social skills. Guys who are going out, who are approaching, who I don't even think should be approaching anybody in public, in my opinion. And so these things need to be sorted out. Need to be sorted out. So the people I'm most interested in is people who already have all the basics covered, and they're just wanting to get into approach.
Something I find very interesting is, I think yesterday you told me a story on a guy who told you he spent some time in Serbia, maybe even in Belgrade, and he told you that dating girls here is very difficult.
Oh.
But the point, you already know this, but the point is, it's on the guy, it's not on the girls.
Yeah.
You could say, compared to Barcelona or maybe other places, it is more difficult.
Sure.
But there are some very, very valid reasons for it.
Yeah, it's more reserved,
Yes.
but it's still accessible. The people are still friendly, and the girls are still amenable. They still want to meet good guys. They still respond well to compliments.
What I feel here is stopping girls is more difficult.
Yeah.
Having a quality conversation is more difficult. It is completely your responsibility. And a woman, during the first interaction, she's not looking for something casual usually.
Mm-hmm.
She's really scanning you completely.
More seriously.
More seriously.
Yeah.
She's considering you, like thinking. Her experience is like, okay, is this a man for me? Yes or no.
Yeah.
If you manage to get her on a date, then it's because she's thinking about, could this be my guy or not?
Yeah, that's my experience. Yeah. It's more.
If you manage to get a second date, that means you're one step closer to getting a possible girlfriend.
Yeah. I would agree. It's a more traditional dating culture.
They see you in a more serious way, and it makes you see them in a more serious way.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting.
Yeah.
And it just shows that you need to seriously up your game. And if you come here and your conclusion is, oh, it didn't work, I didn't get laid, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you're just not a good option.
Yep. It's all there. We were in the club the other day, right? And it's all there. It's all going on. There's obviously one night stands. It's all going on. That happens everywhere in every country, probably. But as a generalized culture, there is a more genuine dating culture here. I'm not saying it's perfect. No country is. But yeah, I think it's a really good culture. I've met some incredibly intelligent, beautiful girls. Obviously, I'm 39 now, so I'm not really looking to sort of rack up the numbers and take every single opportunity. If there's things I already know in advance, there's no point in me spending time with this person. I'll just let it go. I'm not bothered about following up with actually most numbers that I'm getting. So yes, that's been my experience of it. The former Yugoslavia. It's a good place, man. It's a really good place. Yeah, so my experience here is much the same as my experience everywhere else. At 39, I feel like the last 35 to now has pretty much been my peak in terms of my own maturity, in terms of how confident I feel, in terms of my understanding of the world. I've lived in more than 10 countries now, traveled to many more. So I feel like I'm seasoned enough to understand how things work in different places, and yeah, my experience has been very good. Most of it is in your head, to be honest. Of course, there are going to be some women who are, let's say, 22, 23, and they're just not open to dating an older guy in some cases, but actually that's very rare. It depends on the guy. It basically depends on the guy who approaches them. So you can say, oh, they're not open to older guys, and then you find a 45-year-old will come in and gets the girl. So it depends on you as a guy. How good is your approach? How self-confident are you? How self-confident are you? It's mostly about confidence, to be honest. How are you able to command the situation? which you want to do as an older guy. You shouldn't be going cap in hand as a guy who's in his 30s or 40s. You should be taking charge of the situation. Are you able to do that? Are you presenting them with an exciting option? If there are objections, can you handle those objections? You laugh it off. Yeah, sure. You know, you basically reverse the process on them. Oh yeah, you know, I know you look good, but I want someone mature as well. And you start to, you vet them in a sense.
What would you say to guys who are cold approaching or looking to cold approach, and then they have girls asking for their age?
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that situation?
I mean, it comes up for all guys. I would say if you're young, you're going to get the age objection. There's like a perfect supposed age of like if you're 28 and you approach 23-year-old or something, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. So it's going to come up for most guys. When I was younger, I lied about being older. You know, I would actually exaggerate my age when I was younger.
I would say in the best interactions and dates,
it doesn't come up
being
that
set
much.
up. Exactly, it doesn't come up.
Yeah.
She doesn't even ask for it.
It doesn't
I've
come
had
up that
quality
much.
approaches where the girl is clearly like 20 or 22 years old.
Yeah.
We're setting up a date, and then by the end of the first date or second date, we're like, hey, by the way, how old are you?
Yeah.
And the reason it didn't come up earlier is because it simply doesn't matter.
Yeah. I agree with that completely.
It's ultimately it's a personality match, it's an energetic match, it's an emotional experience for yourself and for her. That's what you're looking for. And if you know one of the first things in an interaction is like, hey, what's your age? It's like, what's your weight? What's your height?
Yeah, it's
stupid. How many cash do you have? Doesn't
all
make any
all of
sense.
this stuff is just so stupid. You're not a Pokemon card with statistics on you. You know, we're all going out, right? We're all going out, and we're all doing good things, slightly different angles, different approaches, different things we like to do. But we're all going out, doing similar things, and we're getting similar results because we're well presented. We're on a similar type of level. So that's really, it's really on you. That's really, the responsibility is on you as a guy. I do think as a slightly older guy, you have to walk in life. You have to walk a narrower line. This has nothing to do with approach. You're out like here doing like 20 espressos a day. Even Ephraim was talking about it. He's saying how at 25 he can't just eat junk food like he could at 21.
Yeah.
So like my regime as a 39-year-old to be in my kind of my peak level all the time, energetically, physically, so I can be out in the streets doing immersions, can feel extremely fit and extremely strong and do whatever I need to do. There's more of a regime to that. I can't smoke, I can't drink 2 pints of beer every night to maintain what I've got. I've got to actually have a bit of a regime. So it's walking a slightly narrower path, but I enjoy that anyway. That's probably the only difference. But younger guys should be doing that anyway, but they can get away with not doing it. You can get away with smoking at 20 and drinking, and you might still be able to have a good body and be in shape. That ain't gonna happen at 39. You need to actually take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
But that's not even that related to approach, to be honest with you. So yeah, but that should just be a general thing, in my opinion. But yeah, so just in summary, if you're a guy in your 30s, 40s, and you are well put together, you've got good style, you've got a good professional job, or you've got prospects, your maturity and your ability to command a little bit more, that actually puts you in a very beneficial situation. So don't be ashamed of your age. Don't be embarrassed by it. Don't apologize for it. Basically, go out and run the interactions and run the situation, because I really do feel like you'll peak, and I feel like for cold approach, specifically cold approach, I really do feel like it's something that's very amenable to older guys, just because of the amount of social confidence it actually does take.
Yeah.
I think it's quite hard for an 18-year-old to have that social confidence. Whereas a guy in his 30s and 40s, especially in his 40s, well, I feel like 40s is almost the peak age for this. Really.
It's a cultural thing, what you're saying right now, and then the previous subject on the age differences, it's also a cultural thing. This trip clearly draws a line between Western culture
Yeah.
and the rest of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
The world is a lot bigger than just the UK,
Mm-hmm.
the United States, Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, wherever you are, maybe in part of France even. Guys, if you want to seriously increase your game, you have to travel.
Yeah.
You need to not only try different countries, different women, but just different cultures, different approaches to approach,
Yeah.
different angles, perspectives
Yeah.
on dating, on what's the word for it? Like
Being well-rounded, you mean
yeah.
like well-traveled, well-rounded? Yeah, this is all part of it. This is the thing that I'm essentially moving towards in this channel, is not looking at just daytime approach. It's a very important skill because it's like steroids for everything else. It's a very important skill, but it's much more about the overall life picture. So there's like, I was just doing some dance stuff in the street here. This is another skill that I've got in the locker. Language skills there in the locker, travel, lifestyle, business. So there's all of these different skills and these different areas of life. You do not want to be the freak who just has no life, who goes into the street and thinks, oh, I'm going to do. And they're basically, you're basically a strange person just going out into the street hoping you're going to get a girlfriend in the street. That is, I don't want to even meet people like that, to be honest with you. I want to be associated with very solid guys who want to use daytime approach to meet beautiful women and to build their confidence as a part of their overall lifestyle. And that's who I'm interested in connecting up with. That's why I've loved being out here with yourself, and then Ephraim as well. You guys with really broad interests and got a lot going on in your life external to approach, which is is one of the things that make your approach is excellent, but it's one of the things that makes you cool in your approach. And I'm interested to see from an outsider perspective, like, what have you made of, like, obviously you observed me in Barca, you observed me, I think, more here. What have you made of, I think in Barca, I was not so efficient in those particular sessions. We were very lazy. We were just getting to know each other, to be honest. So we were talking a lot more on our sessions. We'd just go and do a few approaches and mostly be chatting. Here, especially, I've tried, especially if we've been doing maybe a bit of filming and things, I feel like I've moved into a much more efficient model of approach where I'm more aggressive for a short period of time, almost like hits, just go to failure and then I'm done. And that's how I feel my approach has gone in the last few months. I don't know if that's something you've noted. How do you see my approach as an outsider?
Great question. So I already noticed this in Barcelona, just the way you stop a woman, your body language, and you command the stop, and you normalize completely the fact that you're approaching her. There is no permission-seeking behavior at all. It's completely, I'm the man, I'm doing this, we're focused together in this moment, I'm gonna make this happen. I'm interested in you. It's very direct, it's very masculine, it's very grounded. I never saw anybody give me an example of this kind of stop before I saw you doing that in Barcelona. Now, I would say this environment requests an even stronger approach and stop. But one thing that is just very interesting and inspiring to see is not only the stop itself, but the interaction, the conversation. I've seen girls that were kind of hesitant, not sure if they wanted to stop, a bit shy, a bit startled by the fact they're just suddenly being stopped in the middle of the street, completely open up, completely relax, and desire more. They want more. They need some time to get used to it sometimes, but I really see how you put them at ease and how just a couple of minutes in, you show them tremendous value.
It's almost like turning them around. So there's different types of sets. There's approaches where from the very second your eyes lock, you know it's like this girl is on, and actually ultimately that's what you're looking for, to be honest. But I almost feel like the gods reward positive action and strong action. So when you don't have those types of sets, there are other sets where, we've done some double sets where it's almost like the girl's about to go, but I know how to just keep them there. It's just very subtle, but you continue the conversation. Sometimes you just move a little bit just to keep them engaged. And actually, very often, within another 60 seconds, they'll really get into the conversation, and then they start to become, it becomes a more natural thing. So, yeah, knowing how to carry things forwards, I think out here is good. We've talked about, like, we've almost got different styles, but I really like watching your style with the eye contact, and it's very almost like non-verbal. My style in terms of conversation, because I'm just aware if I'm going to have to carry the conversation for at least a couple minutes, so I don't mind doing that. So I'll have maybe sometimes a couple of sort of almost like a thread that I know how to talk about, and then bring them in on that. So I've had some really good conversations out here, really long sets, and then they become an instant date. Then you go on.
I know once you're locked in conversation, I'll have to wait. I better find a bench to sit down because it might take a while, which is great.
Yeah,
it's definitely something I learned from you. Completely focus on longer conversation. Don't worry about standing there 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
really building rapport, and it's like a date on the spot.
It's
almost.
It's a date.
You're vetting each other. You're looking at each other. You're, seeing if it's an actual match. That's just great to see. Yeah, to watch.
That's actually genuinely what I'm looking to do. You can have, I think, flexibility in your approach according to the situation is important. And then even sometimes, like, you might just want to really, sometimes there's been a few approaches where I just want to go really sexual with the girl very quickly, and maybe she's got to go soon, and I'm just really putting more of that energy into it, and it's really an energetic exchange, and then just get the number quickly and then go direct on the texting. But there's other times where I'm feeling, actually, I've got time. I like the look of this girl. Well, let me speak to her for a while. Oh, she's a little bit shy. Great. It's going to be really fun to have a chat with her, to watch her, if she might open up, have a more in-depth conversation. So having flexibility and versatility in your approach is going to give you a lot more options. You don't want to just be the hit and run 1 minute conversation the whole time, but equally you don't want to try and have a heart to heart with every girl. That's just ridiculous, right? You need to have that flexibility. So yeah, the streets out here are a great training ground for that, and you just meet so much quality, almost so much. I think it's going to take a few weeks for me to process when you guys when we go our separate ways. It's going to take me a few weeks to process the probably quite hundreds and hundreds of interactions we've been having. And also watching you guys as well. So yeah, it's been an incredible experience, a really fruitful experience. I would really recommend. You mentioned travel. I would recommend for sure traveling to different territories. Especially if you're not satisfied in your home country. There's no prizes for staying in one place. And just suffering. If you want to try something else, you might find a solution somewhere else. You might. And that's a fantastic thing. If you decide, okay, I want to go to Asia, I want to go to Africa, I want to go to Latam, I want to come to the Balkans, I want to go to France, Spain, whatever you want to try.
Yeah,
try your hand. Most of the time, it's going to be on the guy to improve his approach and his presentation. However, there are places where you feel more resonant with the culture. So
you can't know until you try,
and you can't know,
and you have to try.
Yeah,
I would say it's not optional. It's actually non-negotiable, specifically for guys in the West.
Yeah.
Again, I'm talking about United States, Belgium, the UK, the Netherlands, the Nordics. Okay, if you're a guy watching YouTube content on cold approach, on dating, and you have this feeling, this frustration inside that's telling you, I know I can be better. I don't want to be the guy that goes to nightclubs. I don't feel like I want to stay up late and get drunk and so I might get lucky. That's a stupid strategy. There are alternatives. Cold approach, daytime cold approach is the best alternative, period. You don't want to be on dating apps, okay? You can ask your friends when you're on vacation in Italy, hey, can you take some cool pictures of me? I might update my Instagram, I might update my, my Bumble, my Tinder. You might get some dates, but it's a stupid strategy. You're not developing your social skills. You'll never, ever get the quality of women that you can meet during the day with daytime cold approach. So I just want to absolutely destroy any remaining doubts or ideas that, oh, I don't really need this. Yes, you need this.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you need a support structure. You don't want to be a dude hitting the streets alone. It's so rare. I mean, I maybe know one guy in Belgium. Shout out to the Bulgarian guy who taught himself cold approach and got himself a girlfriend. But that's just, I mean,
extremely rare.
That's so rare.
And
it's nearly impossible. For me, it was just a fucking drag.
Yeah.
I had to get support.
Yeah.
Christian helped me out. We're all here together because of him. You need it, and it's just more enjoyable. Don't take the red pill, take the fun pill.
Yeah, exactly.
Cold approach is a fun experience. It is a healthy experience. Women love to be cold approached. Guys, you should be enjoying this. This is just a blast.
Yeah.
To be able to do this with you, the wing bro, to be able to do this with Ephraim from Pill University, just hanging out with him the entire day. Today, these moments, it creates a strong bond.
Yeah.
Even if you can get a session in with wing bro for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
I would recommend a minimum of 3 days, but everyone's different.
Yeah.
It will change your life. And you need to have that experience. You can't be sitting inside the house watching videos, theorizing, thinking about, oh, maybe this, maybe that. It will just make you fucking depressed. And I can talk about this because I've been through the entire journey.
Sure.
I'm still exploring, but I've gone a massive way along the spectrum of the Western European nice guy towards a more masculine, more grounded version of myself that's more assertive, is more an action taker, not an overthinker.
Yeah.
Cold approach is dating. Cold approach is about business. It's about self-improvement. It's about loving yourself. It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
I agree.
We're not playing tricks. We're not magicians. We're just guys that have their fucking shit together.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. We're not magicians. There's a guy said to me the other day, watching you guys in action, it's literally like watching magic. So when you see us out in the street, it is kind of something, to be honest, to watch the volume and the quality. Yeah, I think there's guys, they see you they're doing quote unquote cold approach. It's very, very rare. It's very rare that they can even get half respectable alone, because there's just too many things you're not aware of. There's too many things you're not aware of. Even actually, the guy I actually trained today, he was good. He's been doing it for nearly 3 years and had some good experiences. But even within about 3 approaches, this is with a guy who's good, I could still see some fundamentals that were off, which we just adjusted. And so now he's got that to go forward for the next however long he wants to continue with approach, and it's going to make a big impact on his life. So the reason we're able to do what we were able to do is because we were trained, and we've actually taken it a few steps further, in my opinion, in recent weeks, trying new different things. I'm going in for so many approaches now that are research. So you see me going in for like quite big group things, things where the girl's on the phone, I take the phone and I politely speak to the person on the phone. Fun things as well, things that can kind of blast past guys' limiting beliefs, where you go, well, I've done an approach with a 3-set with a dad, or with a girl on the phone, or XYZ, go with a dog. We're just trying different things. So yeah, it's a fun exploration for us at this point, but it is fun. It is fun. That's just to go back to the guy who trained today. He did more approaches in about like an hour than he's ever done before. And this is someone who'd actually practiced quite a bit, because if you come and train with someone, you get so much more action. It's so much more fun. It's so much more interesting, and you're getting high quality feedback as well. So your rate of development is just exponential. There's so many benefits to it. I don't feel that it needs to be even spoken about at this point. It should be obvious to guys. And if you're out there going out solo, I think you will find quite quickly you'll run out of ammo solo.
Yeah, and also
you just run out of steam.
Yeah, as a final note, cold approach is not about finally getting your guts together, your courage together, and going to a girl in the library who's reading a book, and then I did a cold approach, and then the next week, maybe a girl sitting at a cafe, and you get yourself together and you do an approach. Okay, great, you did 2 approaches. It's better than none. You need to get in a session
Yeah.
with somebody that observes you
Yeah.
and it gives you feedback. Okay, session is what, like 4, 5, 6, 7 approaches in
A
an hour,
minimum.
in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Spending an afternoon together where you do like 10, 20, 30 approaches, and then the next day again, and then the next day again.
Yeah.
That's what you need to be doing. Not your entire life, but you need these immersive periods where you go hard and then go home.
The last thing I'll finish on is the approach. Approach is about creating moments, man. Approach is about creating moments. Let me just tell you about a couple of moments I've had since starting Approach. So when I was in Santo Domingo last year, I remember there was a girl I met under this kind of moonlight, like creamy kind of moonlight. She was with 2 friends, and because I'd done a session at the weekend, I was relaxed, went over, did the approach. We could just got on really well from the beginning. We go on our first date. We're dancing under the ruins of Christopher Columbus's son's house on a tropical island, right? And I start dating this girl for like 6 months. I'm still in touch with her now, but we were dating for a long period of time. It was an incredible moment. It was like a peak experience in my personal life. I'm out here in Belgrade a year later and meeting the girls here. It's a different type of girl. Meeting these Slavic beauties, these Slavic princesses, these blonde-haired, blue-eyed, gorgeous women. And I go to take one for a date here, and we have our first kiss next to the cathedral here, like again under moonlight. You know, these are experiences. A, they're valuable in of themselves, but B, imagine if with girl A or girl B, imagine if I married one of these girls or a girl similar, and their first time they ever met me was me going over, hey, excuse me, you look absolutely stunning. Conversation, and then we go and have some magical date together. Imagine that story for the rest of my life, to my sons, to my daughters, to friends who ask, how did you meet? Or Joseph came and this is what happened. And that's really what we do all of this for. We do all of this so that in these moments we're just fluid and we're confident, and that's why we do it. And it creates this magical storyline, and
Which
you
is
are
true.
kind of like,
it's not imagined.
it's a hero's journey, and you show up as the hero.
It has a very, very deep meaning for the woman, for yourself, for your possible relationship. It is very strong, very effective.
Yeah. Perfect. So yeah, we'll leave it on that. Creating magical moments, not just about, I'm 39, it's not just about racking up bodies. If you want to do that, amazing. I think it is amazing, right? But it's also about these incredible moments you'll remember for the rest of your life, and who knows what comes of it in the future.